This is Cirque Ballsy. I'm your boy Ray Measy. And I gotta go up here. I got a legend in the building.
Man.
I got Benzino. What's the word, family?
Easy.
What's going on?
Man, I made it, Mees.
You made it.
I'm here.
It's been a long time.
I want to send a big shout out to the girl at the airport, because without her, it probably wouldn't have happened, because I had to, before I forgot, I left my phone on my man's roof of his car on some dumb shit. Yeah. And it was either try to find the phone or miss the flight. I didn't want to miss the flight, so we had to make this. So I want to thank the girl at the stand right before I got on my flight. I said, look, I said, call my girl, text her, let her know to call Girk, let Girk know, find, because she didn't know Girk's number, so she had to find Girk's number through Facebook, right? And then she got in touch with Girk, and Girk was there waiting for me. So if it wasn't for that, because I didn't have your number.
Yeah.
Like, I went through, you know what I'm saying? So, man, God is good, man. We here.
What throws we got here? Feel me?
Want to shout out to my guys, Sko, you know what I'm saying? Ray Ski, Big Trey, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
now we in the building with it.
yes, sir. We ready for Sko.
Like I always do.
Young and move that dough.
Hey, but all right, so this first time here, I gotta get into it.
Let's do it.
Where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in I was born on Mission on the hill part in JP. That's where I was born. That's where it all started, right there up on the hill. Mission Park. And from there we moved to Academy Homes. From Academy Homes we moved to Four Corners, and that's pretty much where.
What age would you say you moved from JP to that?
I probably was 5 years old. I moved to
Academy.
Stayed there probably till I was maybe, I want to say 11, 12. Stayed there about a year in Academy Homes.
So what was it like for you growing up around that time for you over there?
That was the beginning for me. You know what I'm saying? Shit, that was, see, I had two older sisters. See, I didn't have no brothers. And it was like when you growing up in the projects, you know what I'm saying, and you got two older sisters, and I was my mother's only son. They had a different father. So, you grow up as I always got into things, you know what I'm saying? Always, trying to get out the house and always trying to do shit. My dad was like, street guy. So everything that I learned was from a street perspective was really through him. He was like the only type of male figure that I was really like paying attention to, other than guys that was just hanging in academies. So that's where it all started. Like everything kind of started in the Academy Homes for me as far as streetwise.
Yeah. All right, so bring me up to like you said 11, you moved to like
Four Corners. That's when it was like full-fledged. I'm outside, I'm hustling, They're going to school just now, trying to get into girls and shit. Four Corners was, we had a house at this time, so we moved from the projects to a crib.
Yeah, it's a bad reputation back in the day too, Four Corners.
Four Corners is probably like the spot, like, see, back in Boston,
Jack Boys.
I mean, in Four Corners is pretty much everything up there. Everybody had different hustles, man. You had Jack Boys, drug dealers, home invaders, car thieves, you know what I'm saying, boosters. So, but the thing with Four Corners was like, it seemed like the rest of the city all came to Four Corners at some point, which would stop through Four Corners. Yeah. Whether it was to get something. And we also had like Jamaican restaurants, the Shower Posse was up there for a minute.
Yeah, my pops used to work with them.
I used to help their head back. Yeah, my pops. Now you can now.
Yeah, it's a constant statue. My pops used to fuck with them.
Yeah, yep. There was up Four Corners. And, really, Boston itself, like when I be saying stuff like this, like people would have realized, like back in the 70s and 80s in Boston, which was Academy Homes and Four Corners for me, that's when Boston really, as far as Blackness and culture, that's really when Boston was thriving. I mean, it's always going to be struggle and poverty in the hood, right? But there was culture, meaning like, black. It was proud to be black. It was, you know what I'm saying, like people. There was black exploitation movies. We had black actors that we could, you know what I'm saying, and that we was just dealing with black sports athletes.
What years was this?
This was like in the 70s and 80s, like mid 70s all the way to the mid 80s, like that well, just 70s period.
Before
Not even mid 70s.
Like before that.
Not even mid, just the 70s period. It's just like Boston. Boston was, it was like you could feel it. Like it was like every other dope city as far as for black people. See, that's the important thing. For white people, Boston is like, the Wizard of Oz type shit. For white people was the greatest place ever. But for black people, back then there was African American libraries, there was bookstores, there was a real culture of black people, and even like, of course, you got pimps, pushers, players, drug dealers, but everyone, you know what I'm saying. People had identities, you know what I'm saying. In Boston, it was in Black Boston, dope clubs. It was
a real bunch of social clubs back then, and that was honestly like, for people who don't know, social clubs for the Black Boston was like damn near like the Black Mob, and like, you know what I mean, like
absolutely.
I'm not gonna drop that much sauce, but there was a certain number of social clubs in Boston, and it's over double digits.
My dad used to take me to a couple. I remember Garnett, but like I said, growing up, he used to take me to this one little small joint. But when you're young, you don't ask no questions enough, but you just watching them. So, you see them doing the numbers shit. You see them doing, you know what I'm saying, money transactions. You see things getting passed around. So, that was my whole life was really surrounded by drugs, and as far as selling drugs, because that's all my father did.
Yeah. So
I sold a lot of drugs.
What was your relationship like with your pops and like even with your mother?
My relationship with my mother, that was like, first of all, like, my mother I was her only son. So we was as close can be. Yeah. I couldn't do no wrong in her eyes.
Yeah, you was the baby.
You know what I mean? And when you have that type of relationship, nobody can ever take the place in that. And nobody has. And nobody won't. So, I miss my mother still. But my mother, Cape Verdean woman.
I'm sorry.
Yep. She's a Cape Verdean, hard worker. She worked when she was pregnant with me, she was working at the top of the Prudential Building at the Skywalker, the very top floor, when she was pregnant with me and shit. And, my dad was a street guy. I don't even know how that even hooked up, because she really wasn't into the streets at all. She's not with none of that shit.
Bro, opposites attract.
Super. You had to.
They do.
But it's like she wasn't with that side. My father was so street out, really about street. That was the way I was going. There was no way around it. And she worked during the day, so she can't control what I do.
She can't watch
like most mothers can't. She can't. You know what I'm saying? Now, my mother gave me a conscience, to where I care about. I cared about what she thought of. So I would always have her in the back of my mind. Anytime I was doing some crazy shit, I'm always thinking of her. Now, a lot of times that's not going to stop me, but it'll stop me enough to where I'll crash out.
It'll make you think.
Of course.
And even about the consequences, you could probably take the consequences out, but you got to think about that. You know what you probably going to say to your mother. Like,
what is she going to say in this? What is she, you don't want her, you want to let her down.
No, I get it.
But there, my father that was my hero. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, always big cars, jewelry, cologne, you know what I'm saying? I mean, handsome guy. And, he was major. He did a bunch of years in the feds. When he went down, it was like a big thing between here, Providence, and New York. And, I wish he'd tell his story, because he has a hell of a story. You know what I'm saying? My dad was really out there, heavy.
Was it I think I was looking in when I was doing research and stuff, was it your pops or you that had like the Italian type of connection?
Well, my father, of course.
So that's what he was, where that was heavy from, the Providence connection and all that.
Heavy with all of them, but you know what I'm saying, with the Angelos in the North End, the Patriarch is out there in Providence, like heavy with that, you know what I'm saying? And I can say that now, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times when his guys, these are older guys, you know, when I was meeting them, they was already in a late 60s, 70s. Oh, no, these are the bosses. So, like, I knew them at a young age, and they knew me. That my father couldn't be made
Because
he's not Italian, but when I tell you they loved him, and they fucked with him heavy, and I could just see that sincerely without even knowing the relationship, putting it together. Because one thing about me, anything my father brought me around, I shut the fuck up and don't say nothing. I don't even try to get too in depth in conversations and everything. You know what I'm saying? He always, you know, I always had a fear of him. So I always respected him enough to stay in line in situations.
I get it. No, I get it. All right, so bring me up to like the time you're 16.
16, I'm just selling mad drugs, like in hip hop though. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole time I'm hustling. My father comes from New York, so I've been into hip hop since I was 11 years old.
That's what I was about to ask you. So when did that come about? Like the rap game?
In New York, at my grandfather's basement, 77. My grandfather's son had 2 turntables, Gemini belt driven.
So you're having these doing this scratch, like. All right, take me up to when you're like 16.
You know, it was pretty much hip hop and hustling. You know what I'm saying? I was just getting into hip hop. So at 11, but in Boston, it was like I was trying to DJ. I got my first 1200 turntable. That was big when the 1200s came out, you know. That was like a big thing. And, you know, we was trying to form the Almighty Arbor Soul, like in the mid-80s, the early 80s, early 80s, mid-80s. And that was like myself, MC Knox, Master Kempski, rest in peace. You know, we would form.
How'd that come about?
Just form the group, you know, guys was just like, you know, rapping. I was doing my DJ thing, Rock Shock and Ray Dog and Cortez, Ben's Lounge, over there at Mother's Rest, Westville Street, Ripley Road. You know, these are places we would always give block parties, and, you know what I'm saying, guys would, you know, rap. So, you know, I started a group called the Almighty Rock Shit On Crew, RSO.
Mm. So that RSO stand for?
Rock Shit On. Yep, that was the original meaning.
I'm not mad at that. So, I do kind of want to speed up a little bit, just a little bit. So you have RSO. Take me up to like the source. We can back.
That was like 88.
So this is what, 10 years plus? 10 years after?
Well, I mean, in 88, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, we had been established as a group by then. And we had put out, you know, we had went through a transition where we ended up linking up with Jeff Two-Time. He had a group called the PC Crew in Castlegate. So we kind of merged crews. And we still was the Almighty RSO.
All right.
Doing a bunch of shows around the way.
So how many members did you guys have like in that rap group? Right?
Man, it was all kind of members. I mean, at first, like I said, it was just me, Knox, and Kev.
Yeah, it was 3.
Then when we merged it with Jeff came with at least 7 to 6 guys.
So you guys became like,
it was about a 10-man group at one point. Yeah. About like an 8 to 10-man group. You know, but we had Beatbox, Disco P, you know, Free Orange Man, you know what I'm saying? You know, Mr. G. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was always Kevski, E. Devious joined the group. Tony Rome was always with 2 times, you know, with Jeff. So we all just came up together, you know, doing hip hop, doing a bunch of shows, battling a bunch of guys. And, you know, we met Dave Mays in 1988. He had a radio show at Harvard called Street Beat. And, you know, that was like the birth of the Source magazine, from like a 1-page newsletter that was just for the actual radio show he was doing every Saturday.
And you titled it The Source?
It's called Source, 1-piece paper.
That's always great.
It was a newsletter. Had like a top 5 songs, top 10 songs, a little small article about KRS-One. Yeah, so, you know, Dave had a vision, you know, to kind of like, you know, to Rolling Stone, Dave's vision was to have a Rolling Stone for hip hop. That really was Dave's vision.
And you guys did it for a good period of time.
18 years.
You had the Rolling.
18 years.
You had all right. So a lot of people say when it come down to you, you have a lot of people who are obviously haters. You have your little people who don't like you.
Right.
But to be fair, you do have your own controversy and stuff. Of course. But when it comes down to, there's an accolade that goes to something that you co-founded that is literally shouldn't be taken anything lightly. The Source was the hip hop Bible,
right,
at one point in time, which is not a light statement out of any measures. You know what I mean? So that's where it can become. That's where your legendary status really, really comes from. You know what I mean? Like that. That's. I gotta give you your props. I gotta give you your flowers for that.
I mean, it was timing. You know, meeting Dave. I never knew I was gonna be a part of anything like that. I was a kid from the streets, just hustling, and then, you know, we always was trying to get record deals and get signed and everything. You know, we cut our first deal with Tommy Boy Records, but I never knew I was gonna be a part of like a magazine or something like that. It's not like I went to college for that. It was just the opportunity that happened, and, you know, with me, I kind of just go with the flow of what it is for that moment. And, you know, I'm able to adapt in situations. And that was just the situations I adapted to, which ended up being an amazing opportunity.
Damn, that. All right, so I gotta ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
At the Source's height, because y'all were doing your thing, right? Mm-hmm. I seen a little article where they was talking about you guys was making a few million a month or whatever. Mm-hmm. At the height of the Source for you,
right?
What was the biggest paycheck you got? Or how much was the most money
in a month? You know what? It's like me and Dave's and relationship and a business relationship was Dave was always administrative and I was always like outside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Running around the country doing all kinds of shit. And I could say like the biggest check that I got from being involved with the Source was I came up with an idea called the Source Hip Hop Hits, and I did a deal with Def Jam, and they ended up giving us $4.5 million check to sign us. And I negotiated that deal with Leo Cohen and Russell Simmons. That was like the first biggest deal I negotiated. So, you know, we got a $4.5 million check. I got like $1.5 million.
Leo Collins isn't he the head of something now?
He's at a YouTube right now.
YouTube? I thought it was a record label.
Nah, it was 300, but he ended up giving that to Kevin Lyles and them to run. Leo runs YouTube right now.
Yo, shout out to him. Definitely shout out to him. For real.
All these guys, like I knew all them guys way, way, way early in their careers. So, you know, I'm broke bread with all these dudes, all the Leo Cohens, the Russells, like you name it, like record executives, because they all had to come through the Source for their artists. So one way or another, we broke bread.
Yeah, I mean, you married or certainly had the hip hop Bible at one point, so you was ahead of something at one point. You know what I mean? You was one of those people too. But all right, so take me up. Actually, what do you think was the downfall of the Source?
Dave made an investment in the .com business too early. He made an investment in the .com business in the late '90s when
like the digital space.
It was all brand new, and the smartphones wasn't even invented yet. Mm-hmm. The computers was like big boxes, but he had the vision for it. He knew all the advertising would be going through the internet one day, and he wanted to be one of the first ones. He wanted to be on it early, and he took out a loan for a large amount, $12 million at an 18-20% finance rate.
Said 12 per. Dude, what you said $12 million at an 8%? What?
18%.
18% financing rate?
Yeah. So
APR?
he bet the house on it.
Nigga.
And it crashed. All the early .com things crashed.
18% APO. Alright, for you dumb I got a whole bunch of YS that watch my shit. So let me just break that shit the fuck down. 18%.
We ended up owing $30 million after that.
I bet.
Yeah. So we had to sell a piece
18%?
We had to sell a piece of our percentage. And then, that was pretty much that. Then by that time, the internet took over magazines. It's ironic because Dave had the right vision. All right. He had the right vision. Him and Steve Stout, head of United Masters. They both did amazing things as far as the advertising space and hip hop. They were two of the pioneers, but they were wrong on that one. And that was the beginning of the end of the Source with me and Dave. Bob Johnson offers $55 million. He had just sold BT for like $300 billion, like $3 billion or something. And he flew us out to DC, offers $55 million. Then we figured we owed the bank 30 and all this other shit. So that just mean out of, you know what I'm saying? We didn't take it.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I turned it down.
I thought you guys ended up selling with Suicide Bus.
No, we turned it down and we ended up selling our percentage to Black Enterprise.
Black Enterprise?
Yeah, that's different, yeah. And then that was, but by that time,
what does Black Enterprise do now?
They still into publishing and different stuff. They like Ivy League black guys, college rocker. They don't know nothing about no hip hop. And these guys wear sandals with no socks. In Manhattan.
Hey, yo.
On the concrete.
Nigga said on the concrete is fucking crazy. Nah, OG got it.
This is different.
Nah. Alright, so around the time you was a co-founder of the Source, so we were doing that.
I didn't co-found. I want to clear that up. I never co-founded this. Really? No. I didn't co-found this. I co-owned it.
Oh.
But I never co-founded. The founders was David Mays. Him, Jay Schechter, and he had a couple other guys like Ivy.
When you go look up when I do my research and stuff, when I was doing my research, it
says co-founders, but
tell you the owner, co-founder, don't be giving them alert, but I get it. I do understand.
I ran that shit. That shit was part of my life for 18 years. I learned a lot, made a lot of money, a lot of stories, a lot of amazing moments, ups and downs. It was an amazing experience with the Source magazine. That was definitely one of my accomplishments I could say now when I look back at my life, because people think it was so easy for another magazine. We had some great people working with us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not hard running the media platform. And you was the first.
It's not easy running the media platform. And I trust no. Back then, it was like, there was no internet, so you had to go get the stories.
You had to have your ally out or get the stories, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had to get your picture.
You had to fly out to go with the picture.
And my pops owned the magazine at one point too, so I understand it.
Yeah, I said. But nobody did it better though. Like the Source, it was our staff, nobody did it better.
The hip hop Bible. I'm gonna keep saying
Bible is real shit.
I'm gonna keep saying that just so people can remember that. Real shit. The hip hop Bible. But alright, so
like they would make me Jesus then, I guess.
So around the Source, right? You had a very, very controversial opinion about someone.
Who's that? Oh, Eminem.
Right?
Like Eminem.
So during that time, Marshall Mathers, everybody villainized you for your opinions,
right.
Which honestly, everybody has the right to their own opinion.
Yes.
And they're entitled to their own.
Yes, absolutely.
But they definitely did villainize you for your opinion on this person, right?
Right.
So, I do want to ask you, do you feel like you was blackballed a little bit after?
Yeah, of course. But blackballed in the industry, but blackballed in life, when you come...
in the industry.
When you come from where I came from, even though they blackball, that shit ain't shit. What is it really, when you grow up like that, you grow up in the hoods in Boston, any hood, at least me, I'm speaking for me. The shit that I've been through and seen, that type shit ain't nothing. So these things that happen may seem kind of big for somebody else, but that shit really was nothing. You know, beyond death and emergency room visits and court and fighting fucking for your freedom, all that shit is like it's frivolous. It don't really mean that. That's not saying that doesn't matter. I'm just saying it just doesn't mean to me probably what it means to somebody else.
Yeah. All right. So take me past the I mean, well, not even just the yeah. You had a lot of different controversies. Nah, no bull. You have it.
Yeah, you know, yeah. Hey, listen, I know.
But alright, so
You can laugh about it now.
yeah, now we can't. It's been some years.
You know, when time moves on and you get older and you're supposed to grow as a person. So these controversies and things that happen, you know what I'm saying? I've grew as a person, you know what I'm saying? So when I look at them, I might be looking at them in a whole different perspective now.
Yeah. Alright, so with that being said, Tony Yayo.
Tony Yayo, like, really isn't like, you know, okay, so.
Because I seen the comments you had, and I watched his interviews, and I do fuck with bro a little bit, you know. I fuck this bro, I do, and this isn't.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. He's a great storyteller.
Yeah,
Tell stories great, and like we all need a Tony Yayo. You know what I'm saying? Like if I had a Tony Yayo, man, we all need one. You know what I'm saying?
oh, everybody needs a Tony Yayo.
Everybody needs a Tony Yayo because man, how he goes hard for 50. You know,
that's not a common thing with kind of when it comes down to people in the industry.
Well, I mean, niggas got pride and niggas got. We just ain't gonna sit there and bite a nigga's nuts up every interview for fucking hours and hours and hours. I don't care what a nigga did for you. Like it gotta be a point in time when you talk about you and what you did and how you move and your motion. After a while, like especially if I'm a grown ass man, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing like, okay, if you coming up on the the guys I came up under, I appreciate, I respect, a lot of them ain't here, but ain't no fucking way I'm going to sit there and every fucking interview and just, man, and that nigga this and that nigga that and that nigga that. Especially if I got kids and I got a girl and like, you know what I mean? What type of man am I going to be if I keep like bigging up the next nigga? You know what I'm saying? Appreciate your OGs.
You can appreciate people.
But you ain't gotta like that. He goes overboard. That's just my opinion. Yeah. And the shit he said about me is like, again, that shit is like, really, to be honest, like, not just Tony Yayo, but a lot of motherfuckers. Like, this internet shit, I've learned this so well now. Before I used to get emotionally involved, like, really want to tear shit up. But it's not real. Like,
actually, I do got a good question because I was asking about the Tony Yayo shit because y'all had y'all little.
Did I answer the Tony Yayo question for you?
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying no. Did I answer it? I want to know.
Yeah, go ahead. You answer.
No, I mean I know. I'm asking you, was that a good answer?
Yeah, nah, that was all right. That was good. Cool. But what I was about to say was, when it comes down to Tony Yayo and like you've had both you guys had your little back and forth, right? And like not back and forth. He responded a little bit, like not even really acknowledged.
Tony Yayo's not even on my level, like. Me going back and forth with Tony Yayo doesn't do nothing for me.
That's what I was about to say. You've had a lot of people speak on you in general. Right? You had lower people, like lower names. You had bigger names, and like. But the question I was about to ask is, who was one of the first, not first people? Who was the person who actually got under your skin the most?
I mean, a lot of motherfuckers get under my skin.
A lot of people will.
A lot of people too. You know what I'm saying?
I know you did interviews with Vlad.
I mean, Vlad gets under my skin.
I seen it.
You know what I'm saying? Vlad gets under.
I know who's Vlad. That's obviously the way I.
Vlad. Yeah, I see how I styled. Yeah, I mean, listen. You gotta give Vlad his flowers when it comes to this podcast shit because he was one of the first ones to get involved with it. He got the years in. I get it. I've done so many interviews with Vlad. I've done interviews with Vlad. When you look on YouTube, there's one interview since 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
So like, but you know, Vlad's a culture vulture. There's no question about it. Like, his ego and you know what I'm saying, got the best of them. Making money is fuck a lot of these niggas up.
Go ahead.
Fuck these niggas' egos fuck themselves up. Getting money like Vlad. Humble Vlad was cool. Vlad, the Vlad getting money. That's the extra Vlad.
He's a little less humble.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, but
He feel like
irresponsible, and of course he is.
Of course you.
He doesn't fuck anybody who don't fuck with the culture, right?
Yeah, I fuck with Vlad.
Anybody who don't fuck with the culture, forget about how you get money off the culture. Forget your interviews. What else outside the interviews are you doing to fuck with the culture?
You got somebody from the city who started dissing you.
Okay.
And I ended up sending it to you.
Right.
Smoke boldly.
Yeah, I've been saying that. That's old. I mean, again, you understand, like.
So what's going on with that?
Okay, first, like, hip hop is blood sport. Hip hop is people going at each other. It's been like that since day one. Right. Smoke is a guy from Boston that's been trying to make it up for a long time, over years and years. Smoke really hasn't achieved the success I'm sure that he would like outside of Boston. Not too many people outside of Boston really know Smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's not to Rick Ross, right?
Who knows? You know what I'm saying? If he was, that's something that we supposed to know and we don't know. So that's just telling you where Smoke's at. Now me going at Smoke once again, it does nothing for my career. And like if your career isn't all the way popping, you know what I'm saying? Me going at you doesn't do nothing for me. It's just that does something for you. I'm 60 years. I'll be 60 in July. I'm not going back and forth with nobody on. You know what I'm saying? Let Smoke have his fun, and we keep it moving. I don't take nothing he says personal. I don't really, you know what I mean? That shit don't really bother me. You know what I'm saying? If it did, I got niggas that I throw right on him. You know what I'm saying? I'm again, when you get to be 60, you move different. If it really was an issue, and not just streetwise, because I know that's not it. You know what I'm saying? I know that ain't it. But even just rap wise.
We think it was like a publicity stunt?
Well, everything's a publicity stunt now. Everybody wants clout. Everybody wants. If I say something, then that gives Smoke entertainment to give a lot of people who don't know Smoke, because the only ones that's covering this situation is the local Boston shit. Nobody else is.
I was about to cover.
Nobody else gives a fuck about what that is.
Other people posted and I'm like,
Yeah, that's just the Boston thing, and if that's the case, then that ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It ain't. It's just here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't. Yeah.
I mean, he signed to Rick Ross, and I ain't gonna.
He signed to Rick Ross?
I think so.
Oh no.
I think so. But
is he selling units?
When has Rick Ross's, besides Meek Mills? When was the last? You know what? Niggas is gonna be mad at me. But when the fuck was the last time Rick Ross's artist ever fucking blew up? Besides fucking Meek Mill and Gunplay.
I mean, yeah, but Meek really blew up though. He really, really blew up. Who else?
This was 10, 15...
Wale.
15 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, it's different now. You can't even...
15 years ago.
It's hard to have a record label now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Ross really is pretty much established at doing his thing. Like, I don't know if Smoke is signed...
I was supposed to interview somebody. I wanted to interview somebody who signed by Rick Ross. Honestly, bro, I fuck with you, bro. I'm sorry. I'm gonna name drop you. I'm sorry. But yeah, follow Stick Baby One, bro. He signed by Rick Ross, but
was it like
he Stick Baby One? Shout out that nigga. But he wanted a couple of dollars for an interview, and he's not even there yet. So
he wanted a couple of dollars? Hey, listen, man, you gotta crawl before you can walk, man. You gotta crawl before you can walk.
See what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. That's why I'm saying, like, Rick Ross's artists aren't.
Well, I don't know, man. I just know Smoke got to be pushing 50. So if you got to figure, if it ain't happened yet, I doubt it's gonna happen.
Nah, fucking.
It's time of the new young niggas. You know what I'm saying? About my young guys up here with me now.
Yeah, nah.
It's time. If I really want to, I'll sick these two niggas on them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I really want to, but you know what I mean. I don't pay attention to the Smoke shit. It don't really like stick.
And honestly, I had to ask you about that question.
No, it's all good, bro. It's hip hop. We here. You know what I'm saying? I just had some good ass Chinese food. I'm happy in the month.
Nigga said I got some good ass Chinese food. I'm alright. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great.
Boston Chinese food on Eggleston. The biggest egg rolls in the city.
Alright, but alright.
You know about the level 5 show. Wait, let me get into it. Source Awards. Legendary.
Legendary thing. The starters, how did that come about?
Just got tired of the Grammys not giving us our props. And I just came up with, look, we need to be giving our own, hip hop its own award show, because hip hop is really guys from the street. And nobody was giving guys from the street no platform for nothing. You're not wrong. So I decided it was time to give them one. And, we did about 8 Source Awards, man. LA, Miami, New York. I mean, there was some great experiences, man. Some good times. For real. Some legendary moments.
How much would you say it costed you guys to do that first Source Awards?
You know what? The money side, it's hard to say, but the first one was just a matter of us renting the Madison Square Garden. There was a theater inside.
Oh, y'all did Madison Square Garden the first one?
Well, it was a Paramount Theater inside Madison Square Garden.
Oh, okay.
There's a theater inside Madison Square Garden that we did. Bernie Mac was the first host. Rest in peace. And, it was like we was having problems with the lights, all kind of crazy shit. Sticky Fingers shot his gun up in the air.
Hey, y'all.
On stage. It was nuts, right? It was all, hey, it was all right.
That was a real trenches out shoulder.
Lights kept fucking up. The mic was fucking up. But this was the first time we ever did it.
Hey, was that the one? Not that
Don't
one.
shout these food.
That's the one with, the Source Awards was with, what's his name? Suge.
No, that was later. We just
I mean, like that
was in '95. The Sugar one. The first one was '94.
What happened there?
When Suge said what he said.
Yeah, and then
that was at the height of the whole Death Row Bad Boy thing, East Coast West Coast thing. So moment was tense. There's a lot of New York niggas. There's a lot of niggas from everywhere. But what people don't realize, the Source Award made it to where these guys, the big guys of every city, the first time seeing each other. So, niggas had got their own crew of niggas with them. So everybody's tense. People meeting each other. And if you had beef with somebody, because there was a lot of different beefs in there, not just Bad Boy and Suge. There was a whole bunch of different little situations. But, nobody got hurt. Wasn't no beefs. No one got shot. No one got stabbed. And we made it through. That was the biggest thing. We didn't profit from the Source Awards really until the last one. We lost money trying to build that shit up. I mean, each one did well, it did good, but just trying to get it on TV and syndication. I mean, we pioneered that shit because it was hard for formats back then to try to put that shit on TV, man. Them white guys wasn't doing it.
After a certain point, I got it.
Yeah, so, big up to Dave Mays, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that worked for the Source Awards.
Yeah. All right, so take me up to, actually, bring me up to Love and Hip Hop.
Love and Hip Hop, I drove up to Atlanta to go fuck with Stevie. Me and Stevie had been had a relationship. So I drove to Atlanta to go fuck with him for a couple of weeks and ended up living there. You know what I'm saying? He did Love and Hip Hop with me, brought me on. The rest was history. I had no fucking idea I'd be talking about love with chicks on a TV show, bro. That's what I'm saying. See, me, I just take shit as it comes, but I take advantage of every opportunity. I make sure I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? But that was a hell of an experience. Love and Hip Hop for them 3 seasons I was on. The first season, you barely see me. The second season, I got more roles. I got with Carly than the third season. That was crazy. I got shot. My mother had passed. I got engaged. Got her pregnant. I mean, it was nuts. The third season was crazy, but it was a hell of an experience. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I can't even front. That's something like.
Well, you said that was that season because that premiered and then you had different bosses. So you had the little culture, but you had them talks from the streets. You had that different shit.
Yeah. So it was, but it was dope because you gotta understand, like reality TV had never been done before.
Did Love and Hip Hop try to? I know, I'm not gonna hold you. Love and Hip Hop kind of did do a whole little episode on the time when you did get shot and shit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean, that shit was happening.
Do you feel like they exploited
No,
all that stuff?
nah, hell, I let them in the hospital. I mean, shit, we was filming. It was a reality show. I got shot. Throw it on TV. Ain't the first time I got shot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas get shot every day.
Yeah, nah, but that was one of the times where like it almost feels like that time because of the publicity and even like the motion afterward.
I mean, I got shot on a broad daylight highway, so it was on the news everywhere, CNN everywhere. Like, that shit don't happen. Like,
But
broad
that's,
daylight.
I'm not gonna hold you. That situation, right, is where like the little allegations of being a riot and like the whole other stuff.
Right. So let me explain that. So my nephew, when my nephew, when he shot me, was the first one to call police. Right. The very first.
He called the
He's
police.
the very first one to call police. He said, "I just shot him, man." Because he had license. He had 3 guns. He had license for all of them, and he had never had a felony. He wasn't a street kid, and he was the very first one to call police. The very first one. He on the highway. So I just shot him, man.
That's crazy.
All right. So by the time police caught up with me, I got 3 bullets in me. I'm leaking, trying to get to the hospital. I think it was Mulligan. It was one of the Mulligans, but they snatched me. State troopers snatched me out. They stripped me butt naked. Now you gotta remember, the police been trying to fuck with me for a long time.
Yeah.
So they thought he told them, my nephew told them that I had a gun. I brandished the gun, and that's why he shot me. So he was the first one to tell the police that. When they came to me, they're like, "Where's the gun?" I'm like, "Man, take me to the hospital. I'm faint. I feel like I'm losing blood." They stripped me butt naked in the rain, dick out, everything. And I just remember they was like, "Yo," I'm just saying, so look, so yeah, cause butt ass naked. So I ended up getting in the ambulance. It was the fire ambulance, and they was telling me, it was like, "Yeah, man, your nephew said you shot." I said, "He shot me." I said, "The fuck is you talking about?" I said, "I ain't got no gun." I said, "I'm the one who's fucking shot. What do you mean?" Like, he said, "No." He said, "You got a gun. Where's the gun?" And he this. So
he said you had the gun.
he was the very first one. It's in the police reports and everything. I got the whole transcript. He was see what he did. He tried to make it seem like I snitched because of the situation that went on. You know.
So wait, he tried to say you had the blick on you, and
he called the police. Look, he shot me. Called the police, and he was the first one to call the police and say, "I just shot a man on the highway." Because he wanted to clear it up. He said that I pulled a gun on and brandished it out the car, and that's why he shot me. When they finally caught up with me, they're telling me this, and I'm like, no, he shot me. All right. So, I said that. But within all that confusion, those little tapes and all that mean nothing. Everything, when you go to the grand jury, that's when whatever is said. So when I got in front of the grand jury, in front of they asked me, I said, I was fucked up. I don't know what happened. I don't know who shot me. I was hysterical. I was faint. So they was pissed because they wanted to lock him up. I mean, I got shot in my neck, in my back. Listen, I got shot in my neck, my back, and my arm, right? That's attempted murder. It's broad daylight. There was 6 other witnesses that seen him shoot me on the highway. You know what I'm saying? That testified against him. I went in front of the grand jury. I said, I didn't know who shot me. Then they still called me in the court. I said, I don't want to go to court. They said, if you don't, we're going to lock you up for contempt. I said, I went to court. He was sitting right there. Do you see the man in the court who shot you? No. And walked out.
That's crazy.
That's not snitching. That man did like 14 months because he shot on a crowd because he shot on a crowded highway and other witness. That's when he got charged.
So he didn't
get charged with shooting me.
Reckless endangerment or whatever.
My guy. He didn't get charged with shooting me because I didn't tell on him. So all that. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm so cold with it, and I've been successful, and I've been getting it for so long that motherfuckers they gotta try to find any.
So he's the one who sat there and put out the fact that he tried to get away with it.
He made a fake paperwork. Look. He made a fake paperwork.
He brandished a gun, so I said I shot him, and then bang. And then after
they snatched me out the car, going to the hospital. So that's when I made that statement. Hold on, that's what I know. I didn't have a gun.
No, I know. I'm saying, but if it would have played out
I'd have been fucked. I'd have been over with. I'd have been over with. And he would have been justified for shooting me.
Yeah, so you would have charged with a gun. You would have been fucked up for getting shot, and on top of it, that.
But the way it turned out was he only did 14 months. He came home. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, this is your nephew at that. This is what
my blood
this
nephew.
was fucking
I raised
up.
him.
This is a lot. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Chat, nigga, this is a lot. I ain't gonna hold you. This is kind of fucking me up. Nigga said that. You said.
That's what happened.
I forgot. This was a nephew. On those. I was
sister, son.
Damn.
Family shit. Sorry, it's in-house. It's over with now, you know?
I understand, bro.
But I'm glad we cleared that up because, you know, see, I never really cared about the whole rat allegations. Niggas could say what they want on the internet. Won't no nigga come up to me in my face and call me a rat. Nobody. Not one. I'm looking for him. I'm looking for him. Now, nobody will come to me and call me a rat. Nobody will disrespect me in my face without being handled. And that's just what it is. I love everybody. I'm a good guy. You know what I'm saying? I love smiling. I love getting money. I love sharing money. I love breaking bread. But there will nobody disrespect that. That shit you see on the internet, that's internet shit. That's a different world. I be outside and I ain't nobody fucked over me yet. And I get nothing but love. I mean, from everybody. It's too much love almost, man. I be overwhelmed sometimes. But I'm glad you cleared that up, though. Glad you cleared that. I appreciate that.
I definitely
I appreciate that. Now you know the story. Because now you know the story.
It's not real journalism.
You know, that's not for real. I respect that. I fuck with you.
All right, so let me ask you a formal question before we get talk about it. The locks. Yeah, you already know how.
Man, so the locks.
So what happened with that, bro?
First, I want to say we did one of the dopest songs ever. Like, I think one of the best groups collabos with the locks that any groups could do. We had one of the best collabo with groups made Men of Locks, first of all. Like, Tommy's theme for Belly was dope as fuck. Produced by the Hangman 3, rest in peace to JB. Shout out to 2 Times. We produced the beat. It was just a situation where it was a misunderstanding over a broad that, and one of our promotion guys, it was X's jump off that he smashed. X found out, got upset. We're at the Fleet Center. We go downstairs. I try to talk to X, and he never came out the rooms. I'm looking for him. Styles came out the room. It's loud downstairs. Cash Money's on, so it's real loud. I had all my guys behind me. He had all his guys behind him. A water bottle gets thrown inside their crowd from our side. So then all hell broke loose. They had knives. We could have had weapons because, you know, the gang task force was searched.
How many of it was y'all?
That'd be about 14. That'd be about anywhere between 10 to 15 people.
Man, listen, I seen a clip that somebody said that nigga, it was 100.
Nah, because listen, if anybody's downstairs at them hallways at like the Fleet Center in them places, you can't fit 100 people in them hallways. It's about 15 people the most. Nah, about 15 people. About 15, 16 the most, 17 around. He couldn't have been more than that.
Yeah, bro.
So, you know, I mean, we was beefing. They had some knives. A couple of our guys got shot. A couple of their guys got fucked up. You know, Styles' nose got broke. You know what I'm saying? But those was my guys, though. It was all over a bitch. Over a bitch that really was X's jump off, rest in peace. Jump off that my man Jermaine had smashed. Yeah. It had nothing to do with the locks.
One of his old bitch.
It had nothing to do with the locks. It was some bitch that got fucked on the tour that Jermaine fucked. And next thing you know, X said Jermaine raped her. And just a whole bunch of dumb shit.
Shit.
Whole bunch of dumb shit over a fucking broad, man.
Over a broad. That's crazy. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, but, you know, I just want to say that we had squashed it. You know, after that, we squashed it as far as with the locks. I mean, then me and X, we ended up kicking it before he passed. You know what I'm saying? So all that shit got put behind us. It was unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? You know, but shit happens, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we bossed the niggas, so that, we used that shit up there.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah. All right. One more thing, few more things.
Let's do it.
Chris Lighty. Not Chris Lighty, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I don't know why I said Chris Lighty.
Chris Lighty, I was like, wow.
I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, it might be a reason.
Irv Gotti.
Irv Gotti, legend. You know, one of the legendary producers and executive producers that we got, label execs, you know, passed away early. A lot of guys are dropping. You know, health is wealth, man. I'm in the gym, you know, 5-6 times a week. And I'll be 60 and I feel amazing. You know, health is wealth. You got it. You know, we've been eating shit all our lives, eating bullshit. We've been drinking, we've been smoking, we've been doing drugs. So by the time we reach a certain age, the fucking heart's ready to give it up. People don't realize you can turn that around by just eating healthy, living healthy, exercising. You know, it's especially for us black men. I mean, we've been through a lot, and if you don't, it will catch up with you, and it definitely will cut your lifespan. Definitely, and that's what happened with Herb. You know what I'm saying? Not just Herb, like.
How do you feel about the show with 50 when he commented on Herb that?
I mean, they've been beefing. I wasn't surprised. They've been beefing forever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's personal beef they've been going through. Like 50 got shot 9 times. Like,
Yeah.
so he feel a certain way. He's never gonna not feel a certain way. You know, people will have to understand that.
There's that little bullshit where people be acting like.
I mean, after a while, man, beef is like so. Like, if you can't, if 25 years go by and you still beefing, it ain't even that serious. Even the Eminem shit ain't serious to me.
Yeah.
That shit is like not serious. I mean, I know people like to talk about it. They interested to hear about it.
Irv Gotti was not the reason why he got shot, but it's part of like he had.
I mean, you know, listen, he got shot. Like God B shot him. Rest in peace to God B. You know, 50 know who shot him. You know what I'm saying? So.
Cause even allegedly it's the nigga Jabik nigga, the nigga who shot 50 was paroled to be fucking Ja Rule's bodyguard. Like
Nah. People thought it was God B. God B is the nigga that shot 50. Like God B, I think died. His name is God B. He died of AIDS up in Queens. You know what I'm saying? A few years back, he was the one that shot 50. A lot of people don't know that, but yeah, God.
I ain't know that.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna hold you, cause that nigga shot 50 dropped the many men. You know?
Yeah, I know, but he didn't mention like, and you know, God B was running around Queens after that. Wasn't nobody fucking with
Oh shit! You talking about? You said God B. You doing what again? The older, not three, not
God B niggas.
Damn.
God, but he the one.
He's an older Don Trey member, right?
I'm not sure, but he an older nigga, and he's the one I shot pick.
Damn. That's crazy.
Queens nigga.
I actually didn't know that. I gotta know a whole lot of
Yeah, man. On that. I just dropped a Joe for you.
No, dogs. You definitely did.
I gotta get that one to Cal Dawson though. You know what I'm saying? Cal, he put me up on shit. That's my nigga. You know, Cal from Baisley. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So he know all that shit.
Nah, definitely. I'll fuck with that nigga apparently.
Right, so before you get up out of here, yes, sir.
This is definitely a custom thing.
All right.
Give me a top 3 in Boston.
Top 3 in Boston?
Give me a top 3.
I'm gonna put them as one because they brothers. So Ray and Trey. And okay. In Boston right now. In
Boston right now in the city.
Question.
You got Rain Trey, you know what I mean? No,
right, okay. I'm gonna say
like
it's
kind of a biased one, but
yeah, I want to be about. Yeah, you gotta be biased. This whole team, shit. Yeah, my niggas get busy. I'm trying to think. Let me see. Who else I like here? Of the new niggas, cause I'm trying to find somebody new. Top 3. Fuck. Does this mean old school too or no? No. You are new.
You could throw an old school person in there, you can do that. But
I won't
go out. Give me
I'm gonna throw an old school person. He passed. Keith Guru.
Keith who?
Guru. Yeah, Keith Edom, Guru. He used to rock with DJ Premier.
That's who I have to give me a Young Bucks. You are
Young Bucks,
bro. Right,
man. Top 3, fuck, bro. No, I like, and you interviewed him. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if he's top 3, but I like his music. I like King Bricks. You know what I'm saying?
He's the top nigga. He's definitely top 5. He's definitely top.
I like King Bricks. I like his music. I always did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he don't have to follow a wave. He don't.
He should. I just can't really think right now. But and I hate doing top 3s, man.
What about Jizzle?
Who's Jizzle?
Why Jizzle? Shorty watch this
I
one?
haven't heard him.
You ain't tripping.
No, I mean,
OG, you got.
he gonna send me some links.
He from
Smith.
Q Street.
Start sending me links of like Boston niggas.
That's not true. I'm gonna send you.
I mean, I can go back to the wise guys too. You know, my man Jesus, from Maryland is incredible. EDVs is dope. A lot of niggas is dope. My man Skodo right outside is dope as fuck. Like, I mean, there's too many niggas. I hate doing top 5s and top 3s because so many niggas are dope. Like, everybody has good songs. Everybody has decent songs. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't like doing top, man. I want niggas I want Boston to rest.
You know what I really want? I just want you to shout out one of the young niggas, one of the other ways.
One of the young niggas.
One of the young niggas. Give them some motivation. Give them some.
I mean, the motivation I can give these young niggas is don't get nobody pregnant.
You said don't get nobody credit.
Pregnant.
Oh. Yeah. Hey, fucking yo.
Yeah. Because it's gonna fuck you up.
Half of these niggas done got these bitches like, no, they be like,
but it's
Simmons.
So you try to crack it and you burdened by a child, man. Yeah. You're too young for that shit, man. Like, wait till you're in your 30s to have children, man. Like you gotta really rapping and making music. You gotta be committed to it. You gotta have patience, and you cannot be in it for money. You have to just be in it for because you're dope and let the money come. If you're in it thinking you're just gonna get paid, that mindset's gonna fuck you up because eventually you're gonna quit when the money don't come. So you just gotta love it. If you love it, eventually it's gonna love you back. You gotta stay consistent. You gotta keep doing it. It's a known fact. You keep doing music, you're gonna get better at it. I don't give a fuck how good you are. Yeah. If you already dope, you're gonna be doper. If you're doper, you're gonna be doper again.
You want to be way more fucking dope.
Yeah, man, real talk, way more dope, right? So you just gotta keep fucking consistent, keep dropping joints, man. Word. And you gotta fucking love somebody else. You gotta listen to other people. How the fuck you expect to get support if you ain't supporting nobody else?
Yeah. Now you're not wrong.
I said,
now you're not wrong.
That karma's real.
Yeah. Nah, OG, that's been a good one.
It's a good one. It's a good one. It means we gotta do it again.
Film, we definitely gonna do this shit again on Dad Knows.
You got on Dead Dogs, baby.
On Dad Dogs. You know, on Dad Dogs is a Boston fucking slang. So
you know what's crazy? I've been saying on niggas all
now on niggas is another one too.
No, I'm just saying like on my personal niggas, like we used to say on Rock and T. We say that shit in the 80s. So when I be hearing niggas saying that, I be like, man, we did that shit so long ago. Like we just did it. And I never even thought about it. Like it was so just natural to say it. That now everybody's saying on dead homies, on this, on that, on that, on this, on that. Yeah. So, it's always good to remember people, so fuck it. On Dead Dogs.
But like I always do that.
And the alive ones too.
Seriously. But like I always do, it's been a good one. Like always, let's get the fuck out of here.
Fuck out this bitch.